I've got some great news. The management committee loves our proposal and they want to hear more.
All right. Good.
So they've asked that we be prepared to present our ideas a week from Friday.
Terrific.
Few things communicate quite so well as an effective live presentation.
So I've decided to ask 3 of you to give brief presentations at the meeting to summarize the 3 main points of our proposal. Charles, Tom, and Linda. Congratulations.
Yet few things cause us so much anxiety as preparing and making that live presentation. Hello, I'm Hal Calbum. There is a set of skills and techniques that can help you make more effective presentations and calm your nerves as you plan and prepare. In this program, we'll see and hear from successful speakers who will share their own approaches to making presentations.
What has helped me personally is to know my subject. Once you're knowledgeable about the subject, then that reduces a lot of the anxiety.
You ever heard of this first technique? It's called breathing.
We'll get hands-on help from the man who literally wrote the book on effective presentation skills, Steve Mandel.
Nothing can replace the live interaction between a speaker and an audience, and especially nothing can replace the enthusiasm that a speaker is able to communicate in a live situation.
And we'll introduce the steps that can help you create your own presentations, transforming that anxiety into applause.
Great. I get nervous talking to my son's scout troop.
Look, let's get together tomorrow afternoon and outline what we've got to do.
Okay. Wow.
We'll start relaxing those tensions and anxieties next. It's perfectly normal to fear getting up in front of an audience and making a presentation. In fact, a recent survey asked people what their greatest fears in life were. Number 1 by far was fear of public speaking. The fear of death, by comparison, was only number 6.
Because when you think about jitters, not only is the speaker experiencing jitters, the audience is wondering what they're in for too. So my objective is to reduce the anxiety in everyone.
Tom Nesby is a professional management consultant who's been making presentations for over 20 years. Like most effective speakers, he gets attention, he gets laughs, and yes, he gets nervous.
Many of you counted 6 times 6, 36. I have that one. But I always have a few fastballs that I start with. Stories that I will start with, or a scenario that I will start with, or rhetorical questions that I will start with. That reduces the anxiety within me, and it also reduces the anxiety within the audience.
The trick is to manage the anxiety so that it doesn't overwhelm you, but manage it to the extent that you can use it for your benefit and for your audience's benefit.
Steve Mandel has taught thousands of people how to manage their anxiety before and during a presentation.
I haven't even written anything down and I'm scared to death.
That's why we're here, to get the feel of the room, visualize it, see how you feel. Come on, get up front. Presenting Linda Wilkes.
The best practice isn't mumbling in front of a mirror. It's preparing on your feet with feedback.
Okay, we've just been introduced.
Okay.
What next?
Well, it would be good to have some kind of one-liner or something to break the ice.
Sure. We could work through the content and come up with some kind of catchy beginning.
Okay.
Ever feel when you get nervous, your heart really starts thumping? You can feel it. People around you say, "What's that beating sound?" Right? And it's your heart going.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It doesn't have to be obvious. About 2 minutes before I'm on, I start on a little routine. Breathing deeper, thinking relaxed, and maybe even a little muscle stretching.
Okay, yeah, get the tension out.
Right.
That's the way we communicate. We use eye contact with each other. When anxiety sets in, that tends to interfere with the eye contact, and that contributes to anxiety. So you want to learn to connect up, use eye contact, and communicate as you would one-on-one.
So how do you move if you have a lectern?
I think we should avoid the lectern. I try to work without one.
Isn't it distracting to move?
No, not if you keep eye contact. And that way your muscles relax and you can come back to your visuals whenever you want to.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
You'll relieve a lot of your anxiety when you commit to a well-organized, well-planned presentation. You get started on the planning with 2 steps: developing your objectives and analyzing your audience.
Well, how much is selling and how much is laying out the facts?
I think they're 90% sold already. They just want some data backup and some thoughts on how we're going to proceed with this.
Well, I could summarize the customer survey results.
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you keep it brief. They're going to have all their financial people there, and they're going to want some attention to the bottom line.
Oh, yes, the ballpark figure.
Right.
Okay.
So we're going to have to give them something. So why don't we get Charles to take care of that?
Let's ask him about it.
let's do
That's good.
As you develop objectives and analyze your particular audience, you'll flow naturally into organizing your presentation. We'll talk about that next.
How's it going?
Good. By the way, do you think we need to use any handouts?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Tom and Linda think that we should use a handout after their presentation and before yours with some budget projections.
Okay, sounds fine.
Handouts and visual aids will help you put your message across. Make notes on which of your points you might best present visually.
What do you think your main idea is?
Well, I guess it's justifying a 20% increase in the telemarketing effort.
And the benefit?
Well, from the pilot, I think we can conservatively predict about a 20% increase in revenues.
Are you willing to go with that?
You bet I am.
As you organize your presentation, remember to do the first things last. In other words, work up the body of your presentation, then summarize with a main idea or a thrust. Finally, develop the introduction and the conclusion.
Any thoughts on your intro?
Well, I think I should talk to Tom and Linda first and see where they end up.
Okay. Let's get something dramatic. You're the bottom line guy.
You got it.
Okay.
Put yourself in the shoes of the people who have to sit there and listen to you. Are they going to be bored? Are they going to be excited? Are they going to be persuaded? You know, if you were one of those people in the audience, how would you respond to what you're planning on saying?
Great thing about humor is it exaggerates and illustrates what needs to be talked about. So if you're having someone that you need to get a hold of, you know, this has some different boxes to check on. It has phone tag, you're it.
Good presenters like consultant Jim Pelly use a mix of humor, pacing, and visual aids to grab and hold the audience's attention.
Put this on a jumbo memo and you're set for life, basically. Have a look.
You did this yourself.
In considering your visual aids,
You and Linda.
try to stimulate interest and focus audience attention, not overwhelm them with detail.
You know, I like this one. That's a really good idea.
Well, I think I'm going to toss this one out as staff increases.
Why?
Well, it's a talking point, and I really don't think I need a visual. In fact, I think we'll save that for the more complicated stuff.
Makes sense.
Okay, so...
There are a wealth of creative ways to make information visual. So, your presentation is outlined. Your graphics are all done. Now all you need is a little choreography. That's thinking about the physical relationship among you, your visual aids, and your audience. First rule, don't compete with your own graphics. Keep them off a little bit to the side. Second rule, don't give your presentation to the graphics. Keep your shoulder open towards the audience and refer to the graphics. And if you're writing something, don't resume speaking until you've resumed eye contact with your audience. And finally, some pointers. If you're going to use a pointer, make quick references. Don't hold it out in the air forever. And use the hand that's closest to the screen. Don't reach your shoulder across and close off your audience. Above all, don't get nervous and start fiddling with the pointer. You're making a business presentation, not leading an orchestra. So, all you need now is a little practice.
With a success rate of 4 sales for every 10 contacts, I think we can justify increasing our telemarketing expense. Now here's Charles with the financial details. Pretty bad, huh?
No, not bad at all. You just need to keep your head out of the papers a little more.
Are you trying to memorize that?
I'd like to.
I don't think you should.
No?
Experts say
I feel like
never try to memorize a presentation. Instead, jot down the key words that will cue your main ideas. Be organized, but flexible and spontaneous.
If you practice it once or twice, not trying to memorize it, and if you can have an outline of those key points on some type of visual aid, that can act as your note card as well as reinforcing those points to the audience.
I'm going to use my keywords as a kind of visual up in the corner here.
That's a great idea. In fact, maybe we should all do it for the sake of consistency.
I like to have something in my hands while I'm sticking it up there.
Why don't you put your key points on some note cards there?
Okay, that's better than trying to memorize it or half read it. I hate that.
It'll sound a lot better. I mean, in fact, I'd rather watch you talk than listen to you read.
Right.
You know, Tom, you want to go through yours again?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone.
Make sure you get a chance to check the meeting room if possible. Are the lighting, seating, audio, and visual systems all in order? Get the feel of the space and do a couple of mental run-throughs to get warmed up, either in the room or in private.
Good morning.
I call it speaker's brain death, right? I mean, you've been working on this, you know the topic, and you stand up to give your presentation, and everything that you had planned is gone. It's gone.
You'll still feel anxiety, says Steve Mandel, even if you're well prepared. Practice your anxiety blockers and concentrate on jump-starting the beginning of the presentation. Jump-starting means engaging the audience right away, even move slightly toward them. Establish immediate eye contact and a strong, clear voice. If you concentrate on a good start with good body language, the rest of your presentation will flow smoothly. You'll probably even enjoy it.
Here's Tom Peterson with the first of 3 brief presentations on our proposal. Tom?
Thanks, Karen. Good morning. For every 10 customers we contact by phone, 4 buy our products.
Good presentations begin with an introduction and a strong preview sentence where you tell them what you're going to tell them.
Okay, I'll give you an overview of our proposal. Linda will share the survey results that prompted it and ideas for the new campaign, and Charles will outline the financial projections. We feel that expanding our telemarketing operation offers a great growth potential based on a proven success rate. 10 calls, 4 sales. 100 calls, 40 sales. The sky's the limit. Okay, we'll be answering your questions when Charles is finished. Thank you.
Become a student of other people's presentations and your own will improve. Look for things that people do well and incorporate them. Look for information with impact and how it was presented. And look for mistakes you can avoid. Here are 5 of the most common. Mistake number 1 is poor posture.
And I think the slump is likely to continue for the near future.
Talk about a slump. Your posture should be erect but relaxed, with your weight evenly distributed.
Not sure that that's...
Mistake number 2, no movement.
Our timber sales are down 50,000 feet. That's board feet. And we think that's likely to continue.
Stiff as a board. Use movement to add variety and engage your audience in the presentation. Mistake number 3, awkward gestures.
And then you can see that we also approximate that most of the new sales will be generated from sources.
Use natural conversational gestures, not awkward movements, hands in the pockets or handcuffed behind your back. Crossed arms give a defiant expression. Wringing the hands suggests nervousness. The fig leaf is for statues only. Mistake number 4, no eye contact.
Well, we're looking around at a number of possible alternatives, but as of yet, we really haven't come up with anything that...
Good eye contact engages each member of your audience, not a spot on the wall, the floor, or an apparently moving target. And mistake number 5, bad voice.
These developments, I think, cry out for us to take some kind of dramatic action. on this part.
A monotone, talking too fast or too loud are all preventable mistakes which you can correct with practice.
Some kind of speedy, dramatic action is necessary. We really need to, grab the bull by the horns and seize the moment, because opportunity only knocks once. And so, thank you.
Really good responses, very effective calling time. So as you can see here with our time axis and then compared to our response axis, people are responding. We're getting responses in telemarketing.
Most effective presenters stay aware not only of what they say, but how they're saying it. Be your own coach. Your improvement will come quickly. Your presentation really isn't over when it's over. Usually a question and answer period follows. It's a classic mistake many of us make, losing the polish and professionalism we've worked so hard to establish when the questions begin.
So, in conclusion, I think that we
encourage questions from your audience with your body language.
Regarding that question.
Maintain your style during Q&A and make sure to involve the entire audience in your answer, not just the questioner.
The question for you guys, Ms. Simpson has asked if there's a time frame for this new project to be completed.
Effective presentations are one of our very best communications tools. Despite our phones and faxes, beepers and electronic mail, there is no better way to make ourselves heard and understood than face-to-face and eye-to-eye with your audience. The techniques we've introduced in this program can be used in any size presentation on any subject. They can be learned, practiced, and incorporated into your next presentation. Add a little humor and enjoy your chance to communicate and share your ideas. Good luck, and thank you for your attention.